For this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On second down, Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions step up and make those throws, and he did that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Ryan. He's going to air one out. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Odell Beckham, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there, and he got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 5. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end. But running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
All right, now, look at 56.
They'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
And they begin the drive with a duel. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Get up! Get up! Hey, gun. 54, south!
Now again, this is a duel. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
20! Hey, wait. Wait! 20!
Now it's Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Watching now, Barney! Set! 3-19!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On second down now, Scott. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
On play action, they'll throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Looking to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Fielded just inside the 20. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Get up! Gun. 22! Gun. Go!
They start the drive with Abdullah. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Gun. Get up! Gun. Ladies and gentlemen! Great! Hey, South!
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Hey, let's go!
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Hey, let's go!
From the shotgun, Ryan. He sets to fire deep. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. Odell Beckham, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Second and 10 now from the 27.
Here we go now.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Over, 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 over. Hut, hut.
They'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something.
On is the punter King to send it away. Atlanta now coming out. Their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go play action now. Ryan. Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hey, Tuesday. On. Gun. Right. 20. Here we go.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Going for it all. In for the score. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Such an art to dot the I. Just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. On the return, it's McKenzie. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 43 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw here. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And McManus able to put it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, Ryan. Throw left side complete. It's Grant. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now Ryan on 1st down. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Hey, Tuesday.
On first down, Ryan. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Get up! Gun. Hey, gun. There you go!
Throwing again, Ryan. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
Hey, wait.
Ryan will throw again. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. On is Josh Lambo for the field goal try. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And Lambo will put this one through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of the half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
On first down, Scott. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Four down. Check. Hey, check Mike, 27. Check. Detroit!
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. So out come the Falcons now. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Go! 11.
go play action with Ryan. And an alley to run. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On second down, here's Ryan. Caught left side, it's Beckham. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Play action. It's Ryan. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers getting together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Let's go.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Deion Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hut. Watch you now, Barney. Barney. Hut.
Back to throw here. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of him. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Gun.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Get up! Hey, South!
A handoff to Abdullah. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, You and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9.
Ready, blue 80. What's the edge? 11. 48 Mike. Let's go. Ready, go.
Play action, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Ryan now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down.
Check three. Alert flare. Hey. 21.
A give. This is Chubb. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
There we go. Hey, express.
Off the play fake. Ryan. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
I like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Going up top. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his guys are going to have the football back as the third quarter comes to an end. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll run on first down. Scott, and he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Gun!
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Right back to him on first down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game.
Right,
Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Looking to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
This is a question of who wants it more. Easy to get stuck behind all the big bodies, but you've got to find a space and fight forward for the first down.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Bud Dupree in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
20! On!
After the interception, here's Ryan. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. Lambo on for the extra point. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he gets him set up near midfield for the moment. But with that penalty marker down, I don't know if it's going to hold. Now they try the right side here. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are in for 6. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan now with 5 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Falcons add on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. On the return, it's McKenzie. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They go again with Scott, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Tight is right. Gun. Hey, wait. 11. 12.
Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, wait, 25! Wait! Get up! Get up!
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
On the return, it's McKenzie. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Broncos on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll run with Scott. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Watch it now, Barney!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Ryan wants to throw it. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Hey, wait.
From the shotgun, Ryan hit, and he lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. It's an 8th loss of the year, and that one cements the fact that they're not going to reach their goal of finishing over 500.
And that's too bad because they really pressed for it. You know, they gave it a heck of a run, but now they've got to find out who's going to play hard down the stretch